Well, as I said, I was at Ava and Addie's school. I have Vehement in the back. He was just playing with about 30 kindergarten kids. Ava's class and Ollie's class are coming out soon to look at Vehement and hear all about horse racing in general. It's been a good day here. The weather's been beautiful. I got to watch. I wanted Amy to go with the ones I wanted to go with, and she goes with them all the time anyway. So I want to know absolutely 100%, are they the same or worse? Likely not to be better. I assume I just want an even keel. I just want to hear, yes, they were good, not on a line, not on a shaft, felt comfortable, ears up, ate the breakfast. These are the check marks for the most part for me every day. And I got those from Amy. I actually went up and watched Aunt Sarah jog. She was the one that most interested me today, simply because I trained her very, very hard on Saturday, and I wanted to know, you train hard on Saturday, you have Sunday off, you jog Monday. If there's any soreness in the knees, the feet, anywhere, you're going to see them on a Monday morning, first out of the burn. And I'm happy to report that Aunt Sarah looked very, very good. Now, a few little updates. Yesterday did not go as planned. Save America was our only real threat to do some damage, and he was not good. He didn't scope bad. We're waiting for the blood to come back. I know 2 weeks ago when we drew his blood, his AST was just mildly elevated, and I don't know if that was the problem. I can't really comment on anything until I know everything when it comes to Save America. So we drew the blood today. We should have it back tomorrow, and then I'll have a very clear picture. It's certainly not lameness. It's simply there wasn't a sickness detected, but we'll wait and see what that white count comes back as. His differential, we see a couple of them flipped this time of year. And of course, the pesky GGTs, the livers come back a little high, but he hasn't been known to have any liver issues. The only issue we found with him, as I said, was that little bit of tie-up from 2 weeks ago. I'll be much happier when Scioto opens up. It's almost a 4-hour ship straight through Columbus to get to Miami Valley and Scioto Downs. Well, from where I sit right here, which is maybe 5 minutes away from the track, it's less than 2 hours to Scioto Downs. So happy when that opens up. We can get all the horses firing on all cylinders. We'll get a clearer picture of what took place with Save America yesterday, tomorrow. In regards to Rock Shining Star, what are you going to do? He drew the outside. You can't leave every week. I think Jason said he paced his last 3 quarters like 122. And then Greatest Inning again. We'll draw his blood. But you know what? I think he's one of them rare horses where everybody just has a horse they don't get along with. And I don't think Brett gets along very well with this guy. And I believe he'll be the first to admit it. I think he said as much when he came off the track to Jason yesterday. And, get away on the outside and just sit on the outside. It's not a great trip, but what are you going to do? They went in 51. He had the outside. There's very little you can do. I would like a bounce back race from him before Scioto, but again, he's a horse we pretty regularly draw his blood because his AST can jump. This was his first trip shipping. Now, a little bit of a elongated ship. Again, 4 hours as opposed to that 2 hours can be a big difference for a horse that ties up. So we'll have more answers for those questions come tomorrow when we see the blood work on the horses. But for today, just a very flat Sunday, right? The only horse that showed some real pop was Rock Shining Star, and that's because he got away last, and maybe passed a horse or two down the lane on a pretty fast, in a pretty fast time. Oh, excuse me. I don't really know why I'm tired. So happy with the way the babies looked. The ones that I saw go today, I was very happy with them. Happy with the reports I'm getting back from Amy with the ones that I did not see go. And pretty much happy with the way the whole week went. It didn't finish the way we wanted, but that's life sometimes, right? There's not much you can do about that. Now, in regards to a few little updates, also we talked about how we had some babies born yesterday. We had Isa 10, a colt by Captain Corey, born yesterday, and also a Tactical Approach colt out of Pull the Shoes was born yesterday also. So 2 foals born yesterday. Still don't have the photos from Jacob. I'll reach out to him today. I didn't want to ask him. The guy had like 4 foals born yesterday, and he's like a million mares. And this is a super tough time of year. There's no, I'm going to have a nap and then I'll get up and go check them. You're always on call, right? You have cameras set up and they're always watching. So a very taxing and tiring time of year for breeders for sure. So I'm sure Jacob will get us some photos when he can. Now, a couple other people asked me, I missed Zena Kemp. I did talk about her in an earlier video, but I missed her on the 2-year-old video. There's 2 horses. I can't think of the other one. It'll come to me in a second. I thought she was great, Zena Kemp. I told you guys when she trained great last week, she was very good, but on the right line a little bit. We put a good blister on her knees and her hind ankles, which were the known suspects of causing her some discomfort as she trained down and got the corks off. Right knee blew up a little bit more than the left one. Both the hind ankles blew up a little bit. But as that came down and we trained on Saturday, the filly was amazing. Amy said just quiet. She goes, usually she's agitated. Not agitated, but anxious. Anxious would be the word. And she wasn't. She was quiet. And she just moved her over. She was gone. She looked very, very good. I'm just looking for some updates here. Bianco Spiaggia. Right front leg filled up a little bit on the outside where the sesamoid was. There was some tenderness there. Nothing too serious, but with a horse his size, you simply just can't push forward. So I had spoke to John, the owner of Bianco, and just simply said, listen, it's pretty simple, standard stuff. Cool it out, blister it, cool it out again, shock it, and put him in the pool. I would say every 2 weeks, shock him for the next 4 weeks and keep him in the pool to keep his cardio up, and it won't be a problem moving forward. But again, one of those situations where there's smoke, there's likely fire. Just be very careful, and that's exactly what we're doing with this colt. Blue Rare seems fine again. The only thing I found with Blue Rare was some residual tightness over her back. That left hind, she was over on the right shaft a little bit. I'm almost certain it was because she was just starting to load weight behind. And because I'm constantly going with her when I can, you know, I noticed it right away. You could see her creep over on the left shaft. I could see that she was a little stabby on that left hind. You could see she was tight over her rump, over her back end. And you knew, I could tell right away exactly what was going on. She was just loading a little bit of weight. So again, back off, work on her back. We worked on her knees already. We put the flip-flops back on her. I can't imagine there's going to be any issues moving forward with her. Captain Doodle was much better the other day. He didn't break his hobbles, just so we're clear. He broke the snap on his hobbles, which when you put a $3 zinc-plated snap attached to hobbles that are on pretty snug and snap them to a jog cart, the weakest link is going to give at some point, and it did the other day, so I'm not too concerned about that. Cherry's Girl was very, very good. Very happy with the way she looked. Degas, a lot of the things that we implement go a long way, and Degas was one of those horses. Her knees were a little bit sore. We backed off with her, blistered her knees, changed her shoes, and now the filly has come forward in a big way and looks really, really, really good. Diosa Della Danza is starting to come forward again. Just a big, powerful, she's a medium-sized filly. She's going to, I suspect by the time she's 3, she's going to start creeping in. You can see Vehement looking out. She's going to start creeping into that larger size mare, but very strong, very powerful filly, and has looked very good of late. One of the horses that is lagging a little bit that I expect more of, and we made some shoeing changes today, was Don't Ask Again, especially since I've seen Cherry's Girl come forward so dramatically over the last 2 weeks. I'm waiting for the next shoe to drop in regards to Don't Ask Again. Go Strong Hanover, we're going to make a few little shoeing changes with him today. He's on the cusp. He's teetering. He's on that castration fence. Do we or don't we? And Amy, you saw Amy and I have a dialogue back and forth about how I just don't like to castrate horses because, right? I don't think there's a necessity to preemptively castrate a horse just because he might be this or he might be that. And somebody said, well, Anthony's only a $10,000 yearling. Well, so is Glide Master, I believe, or even less. And quite frankly, Go Strong Hanover is also Locatelli's brother. That's a super, super deep family. And just because I think we found a bargain with a green shoe towards the end of the sale, this certainly doesn't mean there's anything wrong with this colt. He has been one of our best trainers throughout, and we are going to, I'm not going to jump to any conclusions, but I'm going to watch him carefully over the next little while. Hanger 1, that is a nasty abscess / foot separation that came through on that horse. Amy said it was still oozing some pus out of there today. I can't for the life of me figure out where that came from. You see horses, and I said this before, that'll jump on their feet once in a while. They make a break or they're goofing off and they hit their foot. That little bruise kind of festers in there and then it'll pop out, right? You've seen that. And it can take months to happen. But I don't ever remember Hanger 1 hitting his foot, injuring his foot, cutting his foot, nothing in regards to his feet, and yet you get this nasty foot abscess on his left front. He still can't jog today. We still have to get that cleaned up before he can start moving regularly. So it's a weird thing, but it happens. It's nothing to be too concerned about, but it's nothing you can push through. You really just have to let it heal up a little bit. Who else do we got? In New York, there's about 7 or 8 horses that are going to go 2 trips. I don't generally go 2 trips, but some of these horses that are a little rickety at times, the horses that have a little bit of a proclivity to make a break at some point in the mile, on a more regular basis, I've opted to maybe try 2 trips of them rather than, working them harder and pushing the envelope in that regard. I think we'll do it a little smarter. Go slow mile, let them thaw out a little bit, and then obviously when we warm our horses up on race night, they go 2 trips, right? They'll jog. If you're in race 9, they'll jog after race 3, and they'll go a mile after race 6. The 2-year-olds all the time. So it's not foreign to us. We just don't start doing that until we get closer to the schoolers usually. But in this regard, we do have, let's say, a small basket of horses that I think the 2 trips would probably help them right now. And in New York is one of them. I'm actually pretty eager to see how he does. And I can't go with him. There's one set full of horses I want to go with. So I'm going to be watching everybody very, very carefully in that set. I'm going to go with Jailbird Jog this week, and she'll be in New York. Joj Fotag, another horse is right here. She's in that set also. Jolene Hall was great the other day. I think just a mild change. We get that Murphy outside because Jason's worried about her pulling up. Take the Murphy off. You can put a pole on the inside of her, maybe 2, just to keep her from running in. When she runs in, that's when she's more apt to make a break. That doesn't mean you want her running out, but you want her to stay as straight as you can in the turns, and I think she'll be fine. And she was good the other day. I just had to give her a little room in the turns. I think she'll be much better like this week. I like the way she trained the other day. Judy's Money's been good. Leland Hanover, we got those shoes changed. I want to see how he is now. He was better the other day, Jason said, but I didn't get a chance to physically, with my own 2 eyes, see him go. I am going to get to see him go on Wednesday, and I'm going to be watching him closely also. He's another one. I don't think we need to push harder. I put him in the 2 trip set. They're going to go in 240 and 215, 216, which should be pretty easy for them to do. Love Sensations in the 2 tripper. So is Megan. I can't go with either of them. So you're seeing this one set. I'm going to be watching a lot of horses very, very carefully. My name is Wayne. Her feet were bothering the other day. We just simply took her shoes off, poulticed her for the weekend. She's got her shoes back on. We'll be jogging this morning. Neuromancer, another horse in that 2 set group. Perfection Hanover is supposed to be castrated today. I know Dr. Latessa is going to say, are we doing the colt also? I want to say no, but I do want to speak to Jason a little bit more about him. I do want to see how he acts in the barn when the blacksmith's showing him. I just need his overall attitude to be on point and perfect for the summer. If he's going to be a little cranky in the barn, it stands to reason that he's going to be a little cranky on the track. So he wasn't too bad. I've watched him throughout the weekend. I came back after my races last night and gave everybody hay again. And I walked down to him just to see how he buzzed. And he was a little cranky looking, but again, standing in the stall on Sunday, can't really blame him. Pretty Eyes and Lies is in the 2 trip crew also. I'm less worried about her. Rosa and Bobby is not. She looks very, very good right now. Really happy with Bobby. Just, when Amy, I was joking with Amy, obviously. Amy gets a little self-conscious too when she starts to go with the horses and they're making mistakes, and then she overcorrects sometimes, right? And with I told her with Bobby, just don't put her in a bad spot. And she doesn't pull her lug with me. But again, horses are smart, right? Horses are very, very smart, and she knows what's going on. And when it comes to, I just saw a note come in. When it comes to Bobby, she's very, very protective. She loves the filly, and I think Amy's nervousness, where Bobby has made mistakes before, makes Bobby nervous also, right? And that's why she doesn't do much of that stuff when I go with her, because where she used to be nervous is where I push her the hardest. I'm trying to polish her up. And Amy just said, no, I just should have moved her and I didn't. And that just that indecisiveness at that moment maybe caused Bobby to be a little fractious, and she rolled off. And I'm certainly not concerned about that. I always feel bad too, because Amy doesn't get enough respect when it comes to training the horses. She understands. She's very, very smart with the horses. She pays attention to detail when it comes to every single horse. What else do we got here? Rico Tubbs has been great. Royal Flush Dio, here's a horse I think you're going to see. He wouldn't surprise me the least if after we were done our first or second round of qualifiers, you start to hear maybe, Jesus is a really, really good horse. I can't tell just yet. I've gone with him. He felt very, very powerful when I went with him. When Tyler went with him last week, he looked really, really good. And then young Johnny went with him the other day. Now, I will say this. He is scared of the tractors. Not Johnny, but the horse. And there was two of them out there at the time. And I knew he shied away. He was behind. I was cutting the mile out. And every time I looked back, he had made a break. But it was going by a tractor. And he'll shy. And it's hard, right? It's hard to keep their attention and make them do their work. But again, it's one of those rinse and repeat type situations. But I can say with all honesty, the horse has the ability and doesn't show any disinterest in doing it properly. He just makes a lot of immature mistakes. Well, he's a young trotter. It happens. Where are we at here? Steady Volo was going good in Ontario now. Harry was happy with him. Sterling Hanover, one of my partners messaged me last night and said, well, what's going on with Sterling? Why is he making these breaks? Well, he wasn't making these breaks. He made a break on me. He was just shod. Did that play a role? I don't know. I can't say it did or it did not. I'm going to be in Ontario next week, and I will be taking a very, very close look this week. I'll be keeping a very close look at Sterling Hanover. I believe the plan is to bring some horses to Mohawk on Saturday. If that's the case, I will ask that we get down to Mohawk at 8 o'clock because Ollie's first game is 9. If we can be on the track at 8 or 8:15, I can make the track and I can make the ball game. So I definitely will go with Sterling Hanover. I don't foresee any problems. I know you hear me say I made a break and I don't know why. It's not lameness. It's nothing like that. If it is shoeing, then we can put the flip-flops back on him. I'm not too concerned about Sterling just yet. Keep in mind, please remember, Sterling Hanover started a little bit behind everybody, right? When we bought that horse, he was Ridgeling. He had OCDs. We had everything taken out. Just, I don't know if he was the Ridgeling. I know he had the OCDs either way. So, just relax. He's a little bit behind, and you have to catch up. If you start a month behind, and then everybody does the same work as you do all throughout the spring, right as you approach summer, you're still a month behind. You don't magically, that month doesn't get erased. So just let him put the work in, and we'll get Sterling Hanover to the track. I have zero issues with Sterling Hanover just yet. Supermind looked good training. Sweet Late looked good training. Very happy that Woodmere Bullet, I missed this horse also, Woodmere Bullet, been again in 222. Smitty's going to drop him below 220 this week and continue on his descent. He'll be ready again July, same as he's supposed to be ready down there. Couple of questions about Country Dancing. I think I've explained myself very well with Country Dancing. Nice filly. I just don't like racing horses that have one or two paths, right? I'd like to have a wide array of races and possibilities for every horse. It makes my job easier. And when you start pigeonholing yourself into one place or one trip or one way, it just becomes problematic, right? And when you go on the track in the non-winners at 2 or 3 or whatever she's in at 12 or 15 or 20 to 1, it's just, the picture's being painted right in front of you, right? Nice filly, gonna race good, very, very well-bred filly, but at the same time, we're looking horses that can make those immediate impacts, right? We can give or take a little bit. You know, we waited on Vehement, and you can see he's racing well now. We waited on a number of horses, but that's because there's paths waiting for them. And it seemed to me like the right time. We needed Country Dancing to be a straight-up sire stake horse, and as it turns out, Country Dancing is a decent filly with Stallion Series capabilities, let's say. I see the teacher coming over here. 1 second. Hi.
The 8th graders are all coming out right
No
now.
problem at all. I'm just finishing up a video to one of our clients anyway.
Perfect.
So everybody wants to see Vehement. So Ava's class is coming out now. Anybody else to talk about? We are bringing Rose Run AJ, and we are bringing Neptune over here as Time Is On My Side, and here they come right now. As Time Is On My Side and JK Victory make their way to Mohawk. I think that's it. Woodmere Betcha qualifying this week. Captain Incredible qualifying this week. I have a million 8th graders coming out to view Vehement right now. We're going to do a little talking about horse racing and our horses. Have a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day here in Ohio. I hope it is beautiful wherever you are.